Hi, this is Fadi Hayek with Solid State Logic, and we are at the SSL booth today during the NAMM show. We're rolling out several products this year. We're going to start with the Alpha 8. This is a brand new interface from Solid State Logic. It's an 18 in, 18 out, line level analog interface. What's really wonderful about this product is that it works both as a standalone interface using a USB and I/O, or as a companion interface over ADAT I/O. So if, for example, somebody wants an 8-in, 8-out interface, you just plug it right into the USB port. However, if you're somebody who already owns an interface and has ADAT ins and outs on it, you can use that as an expander. These interfaces have really high quality 32-bit, 192 kilohertz sample rate converters. The inputs and outputs on this interface are very high quality, very low noise. Plus, they're also referencing up to plus 24 dB, which makes them ideal if you're trying to work with any analog output equipment, or, for example, if you're working with synthesizers and would like to use them as CV gates. The I/Os are really professional level, especially at this price point. One of the things that we're doing at the show is we're showing them how they link together. So in the case here, we've got two Alpha 8s. One is being controlled by the computer as an I/O. And the second unit is a companion unit that's adding 8 additional I/O. So in total, we have 16 ins and outs, and that's connected over ADAT. The second unit is actually being used as a pseudo patch bay, if you will. We plugged it into our 500 series rack over here, and utilizing the digital workstation, insert, sends, and returns on Logic, for example, we're able to send an audio track to one of those I/Os, which then feeds one of our compressors, and that compressor feeds back into the digital workstation and gives you effectively a really simple way to bring in analog gear in and out of a workstation, pretty much the same way that you would do it on an analog console. The other thing that's really wonderful about this is that you're able to clock it externally, so you can use the work clock ins and outs that are available on here to either use it as a master clock or as a unit that's slave to a primary clock. There's also SPDIF that's available on here using RCA connections, and the second ADAT port can also be utilized as a SPDIF optical connection. So that is the Alpha 8. So we have the rig running right now on Logic using a Macintosh, and we're connecting the Macintosh via USB to this first unit, this first Alpha 8. So this is essentially our I/O for this system. So from here, we're using the ADAT ins and outs and connecting to the second unit. So what I've done here is I've actually connected all of these modules from SSL, our dynamics, our EQs, our bus compressor. Each of these is going into each of the inputs on the Alpha. So I'm essentially dedicating the use of this unit more or less as an input and an output source for the output gear. Now when we go over to Logic here, what we can do is we can create and use one of these plugins and feed into one of the ins and outs on the second interface, like in my case here, it's 13 and 14, ping that, and then you'll see it now, it's reacting on the converters, because you notice that the compressor is reacting to that track. So what we're doing is we're sending the signal from this track, it's going into this interface, comes analog out, analog in, into the compressor, analog out of the compressor, back into analog in, converts it to digital, and then back and completes the loop back over here on Logic. So this is what's really wonderful about this system, is that you have a lot of flexibility either to work with external outboard gear, or for that matter, just expand how many I/Os that you like.